How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. Real quick before we start today's video, if you're new to the channel or you've been watching for a while and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and you can join the over 60,000 subscribers to the channel. And you can help the channel continue to grow, not only by subscribing to the channel, but also by, after watching the videos, liking and sharing the videos, and also hit those post notifications. I would be very grateful if you did so. Alright, let's get on with today's video. Polymer80 has agreed to stop selling their product in the state of Maryland, and also agrees to pay $1.2 million in damages. A leading manufacturer of what they call ghost guns has agreed to stop selling its untraceable, unassembled firearms to Maryland residents under a settlement agreement announced Wednesday by the city of Baltimore. City leaders sued the Nevada-based company Polymer80 2 years ago in response to a rapid escalation of ghost guns appearing on the Baltimore streets and in the hands of minors. According to the mayor's office, officials say the settlement grants the city all measures of relief requested in the lawsuit, including $1.2 million in damages. According to Mayor Brandon Scott, 9 out of 10 homicides in Baltimore City are committed with a gun. This settlement in the statement it sends about the harmful impact of these ghost guns is a critical victory for the effort to confront gun violence in our communities. The suit accused Polymer80 of intentionally undermining federal and state firearm laws by designing, manufacturing, and providing gun assembly kits without serial numbers to buyers who don't undergo background checks. It was filed the same day Maryland's statewide ban on ghost guns went into effect in 2022, following a law change that expanded the definition of a firearm to include an unfinished frame or receiver. The Biden administration in 2022 announced new federal regulations aimed at curbing proliferation of ghost guns, which authorities say have been turning up at crime scenes across the nation in increasing numbers. The regulations, including expanding the definition of a firearm, were quickly challenged in court by gun rights groups. Attorneys for the city of Baltimore have argued that Polymer80 falsely classified its gun-making kits as non-firearms, allowing them to end up in the hands of convicted felons and minors, people who otherwise would be banned from purchasing firearms. While Baltimore recorded a significant decline in homicides and shootings last year, city leaders are grappling with the rise of youth violence. And of course, Baltimore leaders partnered with Brady Center to prevent gun violence in filing the lawsuit. And in a blatantly false statement, Philip Bangle, who is the senior litigation counsel for Brady, said, "The only market for ghost guns are people who can't buy guns legitimately at a gun store." And like I said, that's blatantly false. There are a lot of people that enjoy making their own firearms and putting their own personal touch on their firearms and building them how they want to build them, just like people have been doing in this country for hundreds of years. He questioned, why else would someone purchase a firearm they have to build themselves without quality control checks or other measures to ensure it functions properly? When the trigger is pulled, of course this fool has no idea what the hell he's talking about and has probably never shot a firearm in his life. Polymer80 has been targeted by similar litigation in other cities, including Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. No surprise there. The city of Los Angeles sued the company after a teenager used its products in a high school shooting that left 3 children dead. That case similarly yielded a settlement agreement under which Polymer80 agreed to stop selling ghost guns in California. The case in Washington also resulted in a $4 million judgment against Polymer80 and barred the sale of its products to city residents. But officials in Baltimore, their settlement goes the furthest to date in restricting the company's operations. Under the agreement, it can't advertise in Maryland, and the sales ban extends to dealers in nearby states doing business with Maryland residents. The company also has to submit quarterly reports documenting sales of ghost guns in neighboring states. A lawsuit was also filed against a Maryland gun shop called Hanover Armory, which isn't part of the settlement agreement. That piece of legislation remains ongoing. Officials say Baltimore police seized 462 ghost guns last year, a number that demonstrates their prevalence throughout the city. So Polymer80 can't sell their product to the residents of Maryland. And they had to pay $1.2 million in damages. My question is, before Polymer80 existed, what firearms did criminals use to commit crimes? It's not like there wasn't any crimes at all before Polymer80 came along. And what I'm getting at, just because Polymer80 can't sell its products in Maryland anymore, doesn't mean that criminals aren't going to use firearms in crimes. They'll just do what they've always done in the past. And that's to get people who don't have any felonies to do straw purchases for those firearms. And of course the big thing is just stealing the firearms from either people's homes or their cars. Or as we see a lot now, just breaking into gun shops and stealing them as well. It's a Democrat-run city, and as we all know, most of the violent crime and gun crime happens in a lot of Democrat-run cities, where the district attorneys just slap these criminals on the hands and tell them not to do it again, and they set them free. It will never change in Baltimore and these other cities until they make change in the government that runs those cities. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, or if you want to just help the channel out and continue to grow, and all you have to do, as I mentioned at the starting of the video, is like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I really would appreciate it. And I invite you to come back and watch my next video.